I'd like to thank my colleagues in the Trews party for all their good work. I will be stepping down as head of the Trews. No, I won't, because I'm just a comedian. I'm not even electable or nothing. I'm just a bloke with a laptop and a bit of mouth. Hello, welcome to the Trews. Bloody hell, what's happened? So, Nick Clegg's resigned, Miliband's resigned, Nigel Farage has resigned, we're a conservative country now. Obviously, we got really into it. What I feel like from a personal perspective is like, when we interviewed Miliband, we thought, oh my God, we can probably influence the outcome of an election. And now I think, you can't influence the outcome of an election. I'll tell you what I think got me into that position mentally is, like, when I've done that interview for Paxman, I goes, I don't vote, I think voting's pointless. I sort of become a de facto spokesman for people who don't vote. But it wasn't really that, it's just I was feeling the same things they feel. It's not like I was the leader of the Don't Vote party, I was just another member of the Don't Vote party. It's not like I had any authority or power. I think for a moment I got caught up in some mad, the thick of it, like, oh wow, Ed Miliband's in my house. Like, you know, like people were telling me, like journalists and people that know loads about politics, look, if Labour don't get in, it's going to really be bad because Independent Living Fund will get cut, public services are going to get cut more than ever, it's going to get worse for very poor people, the climate of the country is going to become sort of mean and nasty. And now, actually, the Conservatives have won. And then there was a sort of a moment where I felt like, old media doesn't have the same sort of power that it used to. People don't listen to the front pages of The Sun and the Mail. These things seem kind of ridiculous. But evidently, that is not the case. Evidently, the old media, the establishment, is a powerful thing. David Cameron is the Prime Minister of this country with more seats than before. After all of the things that have been happening for the last 5 years, the result is, let's keep that guy in charge. I guess over that whole process, we sort of thought like, oh, the Greens are trying their best. And we did that thing with Caroline Lucas, and Caroline Lucas has been elected again. But like, they made really clear to us that the Greens can never have any meaningful power. The only conclusion I can draw from this is a time where, you know what, like evidently a lot of people want the Conservatives in power because they voted for them, and the Conservatives are now in power. People that don't want that, people that really want an alternative, whether it's a moderate alternative of a Labour government that seems a bit piecemeal and doesn't want to change things enough, or a radical and unelectable kind of Green Party, or an even more radical system that's wholly unrecognisable, where people live in tune with compassion and altruism and community and stand up to big business and stand up to the city. Wherever you fall on the line of not the Conservative but those people, the only currency we have is compassion and being nice to one another. We're going to have no shortage of meanness over the next 5 years. There's going to be meanness to the disabled, there's going to be meanness to immigrants, there's going to be meanness to the poor. So all we've got left is to be compassionate to one another and get involved in causes we care about. Like, my only regret in this is I thought that I could be involved. Like, you know, me and like Gareth, who I do this with, people are telling us we could make an influence, and even though it's only a sort of a small thing, it would be better if the Independent Living Fund's not cancelled, if education's not cut, if health's not cut. I mean, I was at the doctor with my mum today, and thank God she's alright. That really sort of put things in perspective, and I thought, thank God I'm in a position where I can take care of my mother as well, because it's going to be a lot harder for people that can't. The only thing that I can look to positively is that change does happen. Syriza's happened in Greece, even though they're now fighting the giants of the EU to bring about anything meaningful. Podemos look like they're going to do something in Spain the next election, and I think there is a possibility for a new kind of politics. Not long ago, a slim majority like this, like the Tories are going to get, would have been looked at as a disaster. Now for them, it's looked at as a huge victory. That's an indication that politics has changed in some way. What I've personally learned is, I don't understand that world, and I intuitively don't like it. My feeling is that change is going to come from us, come from ordinary people working together. So the Trews, what we're going to do is we're just going to talk to you about what we feel and sort of really step away from that stuff, you know, and stay near communities, near people that are actually doing stuff, whether it's in the issues of housing, ecological issues. We've got to find new ways of making alliances, new ways of making change, because we ain't going to get any help from the government. We're going to get screwed. We're going to get screwed. For me, as a wealthy person in Britain, this is all right. I'll be taxed less than I would have done probably under Labour. But for me as a human being, I'm now part of a society that has explicitly said, immigrants, poor people, NHS users, you are all in a lot of trouble. So one thing I know for certain is there's going to be no shortage of meanness, so let's not bandy it about one another. We've got to find new ways of being compassionate and new ways of making change. That's some true news. Subscribe here.
Nose is a tool that is abused to fool you and to leave you scared and confused. Trews is like the nose. If the nose was true, I want some trews. Let's have some trews.